police officers would then be able to check the immigration status of anybody in the car if they look reasonably suspicious. And let's be honest, these guys do. And if they can't prove that they're citizens, they're in trouble. 545. That's how many violations Richardson says this camera has captured in the last 30 days at this intersection alone. Even more important than the water is this roof. 60% shading, he says, has been a godsend. Yeah, and he says without it, he wouldn't have very much product to sell. Now, going inside Dallas Cowboy Stadium can be a little bit intimidating because of how big it is, but I figured out if you want to fit in, all you gotta do is to blend in. Not sure if negotiations are trying to take place or if officers, agents are trying to get in one of these houses that we're telling you about. But again, this has not yet been confirmed that they are here because of that second suspect. Let's say these buildings represent the 93 payday loan businesses in Birmingham. Now, I asked both Scales and Hoyt what they thought an appropriate number would be. Of course, lower than 93. But to my surprise, they don't even want 50% of them in the city. But out of all the horsepower, all the torque, all the sheer muscle that all of these cars bring to the track this weekend, there's one vehicle here that really stands out. And I don't even think it's street legal. And letting my imagination run wild. Hello? What? A Lego convention? I'm on my way. But to understand where the blueprint is going, you have to see where it's been. In less than just 2 years, Birmingham here has been pretty busy. We've been expanding the airport. We're also in the process of building a new Westin hotel along with completing the entire entertainment district. Don't forget, we also have Railroad Park, and just across the street, we're building a new baseball stadium. And it's because of projects like this that some people are hoping will bring even more business and even more revenue to the area. But we will, of course, bring you any and all updated information as it becomes available. You can also always check out our website, abc3340.com. In Inslee, Bryant Somerville, ABC 3340. With a little fine-tuning, Danny Frazier's life has turned out better than expected.
I'm thankful for my life. Being able to wake up one more day.
That's because he was born with fetal alcohol syndrome. His biological mother was an alcoholic and a drug user. He was born premature, 1 pound, 2 ounces.
You could literally hold me in the palm of your hand.
Doctors said he wouldn't survive. Then at age 2, because he did not and would never have use of his legs, doctors, in Frazier's best interest, amputated them.
Every day is a challenge, like it is for everybody.
He doesn't want sympathy. Quite frankly, he says he doesn't need it.
I want to inspire people.
He loves to hunt, to fish, ride horses and four-wheelers. He can drive thanks to hand controls. He owns a car detail shop. He's written a book. He's been on magazine covers. He even volunteers as a firefighter, doing whatever he can.
The guys on the department are just amazed, that, wow, Danny's out here doing this.
And in case you're wondering why the sideburns, he's also an Elvis impersonator. He sings to bring joy to others, showing them there's no shame in being who you are.
I want people to see, when I get out of my truck or when I'm out and about somewhere, hey, look at that guy. Here I am. I'm complaining that my legs hurt, my knees hurt, my shoulders hurt, my and I want them to see, well, look at him. He has no legs. He's out here doing this. He's out here driving this truck. He's out here running around. What do I have to complain about?
He's happy with life, and with wonderful friends and family by his side, he says he's not bitter about his condition. He's a blessing that is inspiring others.
I wake up with that mind frame, I'm going to motivate somebody today.
In Aniana, Bryant Somerville, ABC 3340.
This section of roadway is probably the most highly complained about section that we have in Jefferson County.
Brian Davis says the squeaky wheel is getting the oil, or in this case, the bad road is getting repaved. It's called rubbleization. This 1.5 mile stretch of I-2059 North is being transformed into a stone layer, a new base for pavement. But this construction zone is a closed course, meaning traffic is being rerouted. So I wanted to know, good or bad thing?
Is this aggravating? Aggravating? A little bit? All right. What makes it aggravating?
Going me out skid.
Very aggravating. Very aggravating.
Very aggravating.
It is? All right. I don't think they want to be on TV. Is this aggravating?
Yeah, it's aggravating.
What do you think? Aggravating?
Yes, it's very aggravating.
For some out-of-towners, it's not just aggravating, it's a downright nightmare.
You don't know which way to go? You're not from here?
No.
Oh, well, that's a problem.
We don't know which way to go.
You're trying to go to Atlanta? All right, just follow her.
But Davis says this is the road less traveled, no pun intended. Definitely better than shutting down one lane at a time.
If you didn't do it this way, you would take this construction zone for northbound of 30 days and you would turn it into months.
And one woman agrees.
This is not aggravating, this needs to be done.
Absolutely. Have you driven on it lately?
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
Boring.
Thank you.
I'm thrilled you're doing it.
The night before he took it off, he said he was too hot, which isn't like him. He loves his onesies.
Every child has a name.
He had on his little pull-up and his helmet.
Every name has a meaning.
You just want to protect your children.
And that meaning usually stems from something that hits close to home with the parents.
I was in mommy mode. I wasn't panicking at that moment.
When Alana Cheetah gives birth to Twister in about a month's time, rest assured his name has meaning.
Going from Roebuck to Pinson, cuts to Huffman and Centerpoint.
They had been warning us that there was going to be bad weather.
These are the communities that are in the path of what could be a pretty significant tornado.
It was just a rumble
Everybody out here needs to be in a safe place.
that's louder than thunder.
To take cover that it is coming right up Centerpoint Parkway.
It sounds like a train, like it was literally right by you. It wasn't like 10 seconds and it was over, but it was like the worst sound you'll ever hear.
It's 3 a.m., January 23rd. Cheetah is awake, sitting in her bedroom with her two children, 4-year-old Talon and 2-year-old Josiah. Keep in mind, she's also 8 months pregnant.
A very well-defined hook.
Watching weather reports on TV, she knows something vicious is headed her way.
Danger. Like, just danger.
It's all she says she felt, but yet, oddly enough, she says she was at ease. After all, she says she had watched meteorologist James Spann days before warning of the severe weather.
It's not like a warning that you have from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the morning. He had given us that warning a few days before even. Okay, there's going to be some bad weather.
And now that bad weather was knocking on her front door. She says one of the first things she thought of, helmets.
They're motorcycle, full-face motorcycle helmets.
Acting fast, she grabbed her boys, one in each arm. She herself didn't even have time to put on pants.
If I had been any faster getting to their rooms and getting their helmets, if I had been any slower, it wouldn't have added up right.
At this point, she says, she was running on the only thing she could, mommy mode. After getting the helmets, she knew the next step was getting to her basement.
He was like, "No, Mommy, it's dark." I said, "No, we need to go now." We started going down the steps and you could feel the air and you could hear the air being sucked out of the basement.
Halfway down the steps, her ears started popping and she could feel herself losing her balance. Keep in mind, she's 8 months pregnant.
If I could, I would have jumped from my top step all the way to the bottom step.
Staying calm, she got herself and her 3 children to the basement safely.
I know now that, whenever he says to just go to your safe place, how hard is that to do? It's not. Get your kids up because you don't have time.
It has crossed over the Centerpoint area.
Once the storm was over, they crawled out of their basement's side door.
We got out barefoot. They didn't have Well, one of them didn't have his PJs on. He had on a helmet. He didn't have on anything else.
Looking back, she knows they were lucky.
You don't even think of it being that bad whenever it's happening until you see the aftermath, and then you're like, how did I survive through that?
She doesn't know what kept her alive. Perhaps mother's intuition, maybe quick thinking, maybe, she says, even James Spann.
Huffman, center point. All right, Tarrant, be in a safe place.
As for her home, it's destroyed. Years of memories not only for her, but her children, gone.
There's not much that we could salvage, but we did the best we could.
After all, everyone is safe.
Dangerous hat.
4-year-old Talon, 2-year-old Josiah, and even Twister,
Look at that.
who she says one day will understand the meaning behind his name.
Scream, Mama.
In Centerpoint, Bryant Somerville, ABC 3340.